The dramatic events unfolded under the cover of darkness in a quiet London courthouse. A single sheet of formal legal parchment was discreetly delivered by a mysterious, hooded messenger just after midnight. There were no flashing cameras, no hushed conversations leaking out, only the sharp stamp of official urgency. This unassuming document exploded like a hidden explosive within an already fragile royal dynasty. In clear, uncompromising terms, the filing contained a sworn affidavit from Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. He declared under oath that he was not the biological father of Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor or Princess Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor. The statement left no room for doubt, no softening clauses or hedging language. It was a stark, irrevocable paternity denial, submitted in the stillness of night and clamping down on the carefully crafted Sussex story with legal force. This went far beyond a private family matter. When a member of the royal family publicly disavows his own children in a court of law, it challenges the very foundations of lineage, heritage, and institutional continuity. Bloodlines have always been the lifeblood of monarchy, and such a declaration threatened to rewrite chapters of royal history while allowing Harry to seize back some measure of personal authority. The true bombshell lay not just in the denial itself, but in the cascade of repercussions that followed. Almost immediately, Prince Harry boarded a private jet and fled Montecito, leaving his California life in disarray. Court timestamps and aviation records paint a precise picture. The document was officially lodged at 2:17 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on February 5, 2026. Within hours, Harry's Gulfstream G650 took off from Santa Barbara Municipal Airport at around 4:45 a.m. Pacific Time, heading straight for London Heathrow. This wasn't a spontaneous decision fueled by gossip or sensational headlines. Reliable sources familiar with royal legal matters point to a specific safeguard embedded in the 2020 Megxit settlement agreements. Queen Elizabeth II, ever cautious about the uncertainties of their departure from royal duties, had reportedly insisted on clauses allowing for lineage verification in cases of serious disputes. What began as a protective measure against future instability now became the mechanism that cornered Harry. Insiders describe how mounting marital strains in recent years led to private investigations. Paternity tests, allegedly conducted discreetly in 2024 as tensions escalated, presented undeniable evidence of deception. Confronted with these findings, Harry felt compelled to act. The affidavit, obtained through secure investigative channels, was clinical in tone. The affiant hereby declares, upon penalty of perjury, that he is not the biological progenitor of the aforementioned minors. No sentiment seeped through the formal wording, yet the consequences reverberated loudly. By questioning biological ties, the filing undermined the entire Sussex public image, one built around a picture of a progressive, devoted modern family. In royal tradition, where heritage equates to legitimacy and power, this amounted to an act of rebellion against the legacy Harry had once sought to distance himself from. The fallout intensified rapidly. As the document moved through the British judicial system, Harry's existence narrowed dramatically. Urgent calls flooded Montecito from legal advisors, but he was already airborne, traveling solo with only a small carry-on bag. No wife, no children, no elaborate entourage. This was an escape, not a journey. Back in the UK, the palace reacted not with emotional outbursts, but with calculated precision. Senior aides gathered in a secure, windowless room at Kensington Palace, a space designed for high-stakes deliberations away from public view. The mood, according to those with direct knowledge, was one of tense, focused control. The priority wasn't judging Harry's motives. It was containing the potential damage to the monarchy's reputation and stability. What elevated this beyond mere celebrity scandal was the interconnected nature of the claims. The paternity denial linked to a larger sworn statement alleging marital fraud, including accusations of deliberate misrepresentations about the children's origins. Redacted court papers alluded to supporting materials, emails, text messages, and even medical documentation that Harry claimed demonstrated he had been misled. Legal analysts emphasize that such serious allegations require substantial backing, such as DNA analyses from reputable laboratories in both California and the United Kingdom. The ripples spread outward. Online platforms lit up with reactions, but the palace maintained official silence, allowing public speculation to swell while it managed the crisis behind closed doors. Harry's inner circle had braced for controversy, yet the velocity of the backlash surprised even them. By the time his plane landed in London, leaked details from compromised contacts in California had transformed rumors into accepted narrative. Harry's trajectory mirrored historical precedents of royal disillusionment and retreat. Observers noted parallels to earlier abdications or exiles, where personal crises intersected with institutional pressures. His own past statements, in interviews, podcasts, and writings, had hinted at deeper fractures, illusions about family, and a search for authenticity. Now, the legal filings served as the decisive break. A low-profile escort transported him to a secure residence in Windsor, distant from media scrutiny. This return felt less like a triumphant homecoming and more like seeking refuge within the familiar structures he had once rejected. Aviation data confirmed the non-stop flight, with no plans for an immediate return. Security concerns cited in the affidavit, threats, harassment, and intense scrutiny, added urgency to the departure. In Montecito, reports described frantic activity, security personnel packing belongings, as if preparing for an abrupt relocation. The timing exploited overnight hours to minimize exposure. Encrypted communications between UK and US teams reportedly activated protocols reminiscent of high-level extractions, drawing from established security frameworks. Legally, the denial carried jurisdictional weight. By severing biological claims, Harry potentially shifted family law matters toward UK courts, where royal lineage holds greater sway under international agreements. Prince William's response emerged as a decisive countermeasure. Quietly but swiftly, he authorized the transfer of the Montecito mansion, valued at approximately $29 million, away from Meghan's control. Completed through offshore trusts on February 6, 2026, the property reverted to entities linked to the Windsor family. Public records traced the original purchase to financing arrangements tied to royal allowances, now contested in light of the paternity revelations. This wasn't simple property repossession. It symbolized the erasure of independence built on perceived falsehoods. Echoes of past royal upheavals, particularly those surrounding Diana, resurfaced. Archived letters and precedents informed responses, treating the crisis as a test of endurance. The crown, rather than crumbling, reinforced its structures, transforming vulnerability into reinforced resolve. In the end, what began as a midnight filing evolved into a profound realignment, severing ties, reclaiming control, and exposing the fragility beneath polished facades. The Sussex chapter closed not with fanfare, but with the quiet, inexorable machinery of history correcting its course.